Hey! Hello, everyone. Alright, I'll turn the music off. Timer's off. Alright, everyone who's been wanting to learn Gradius, you're going to learn just how easy Gradius is. The luxury of Gradius is that there is zero RNG in this game, and if you're fully powered up, there's almost nothing to worry about the whole time. If you're having trouble with it, you should just play through it a couple of times, and you'll be okay. I'm going to show you the easy strats first, which should carry you through the game. The code is allowed in the best or the Big 20. The Big 20. The code is allowed, which gives you a shield and two options right off the bat, so you're good to go. I would highly suggest doing this first, as I'll show you in a second. Thank you, VB, for hooking me up with all this stuff so we can get the tutorial underway. And let's get the tutorial underway now. So, this is Gradius. I don't think it's loud enough. One of my favorite NES games and favorite series of shmups of all time. Okay, let's reset again. Alright. First things first, in the marathon, the code is allowed, so put it in right away. It's up, up, down, down, left, right, BA. And as you can already tell, I have missiles, I have options, and I have a force field. They're already out on the bottom of the screen. So I'm already really fully loaded. It also gives you one speed up. I would highly suggest that you only get 2 speed ups if you're a really beginner at this game, because if you get 3, you tend to get a little out of control fast, and it's just a little too fast-paced for newer players, which is understandable. It just gets a little too crazy fast. But if you're comfortable with 3, I would say go with 3, because why not? Alright. As you can tell, when you already have the power-ups, you could just kind of sweep the screen. I would definitely suggest getting laser right away, because it just eliminates enemies extremely fast. And one thing you're going to note is that all the enemies, again, there's no RNG. The spawns are fixed throughout this entire game. So much where you know something is, like the core down there that shoots the planes out, it's always in the same location. But yeah, that's it. It's just going to be the same enemies in the same location. But there's one thing about any percent that you need to know, is that there's 2 warps to use in this route, and there's a warp from stage 1 to stage 3, and a warp from stage 3 to stage 5. And able to get the warp in stage 1, you need to destroy the 4, what's it called? I'll just say like the planet-side turrets that spit planes out at you. There's 4 in the first stage. You need to kill all 4 of them when the score, the 1000th digit in your score is an even number. A 2, a 4, a 6, an 8, or a 0. Right now, the 1000th digit in the number is number 6 right now. So that's the one that you need to be an even number when you destroy all 4 of those. That is how you warp from stage 1 to stage 3. It's the weirdest warp in the game, but it's not really that hard to do, especially if you don't have missiles, because sometimes missiles will accidentally destroy them. But you need to destroy all of them on an even number. I'm pretty sure I destroyed the first one on an even number. So we're going to continue here. You go through this volcano right here, you get 5,000 points. Each one of the red things you pick up, the red power-up options, gives you... Alright, see right here? Each one of the red options that you pick up gives you 500 points, so it's good to know that. The turret thing right there that's coming into screen, that is what you have to destroy. I'll let it load a little bit. That is what you have to destroy when your number is even. Right now, my number in the thousands column is 4. Therefore, I can actually destroy it and carry on without much business. The blue option you see behind me will kill all enemies and give you 0 points for it. It's important to note that you get no points for clearing the enemies when you use this. Like right there, I got no points for doing that. Now I get to destroy this, while the digit is even in the thousandth column. Again, I highly suggest just like learning enemy spawns and locations so they can come onto the screen. They are static. Alright, see, this is dangerous. Now I'm at an 8 in my thousandth column. You're gonna really want to avoid trying to shoot things before destroying it, or an alternative strategy is getting up to the next even number, which in this case would be 1100 points. So I'll kill all these guys that it spits out. Now I'm at perfect even again to come up and destroy it without a problem. Alright, that should be enough. And I would suggest getting enough power-up options to highlight the force field. It's the last option. It's the last power-up in the boxes below, so you're going to keep it highlighted. Alright, a lot of people have trouble with these volcanoes. There's a safe spot that works every single time. Just right above the volcano. Sit right here and shoot. You sit right here and shoot, you will never be hit. It's a safe spot that works every single time. And that's the volcano parts. You're only going to have to do one of those sections, which is nice. There are 2 in the game, but we skipped the stage that the second one is in. Alright, for the bosses, for an easy pattern, I would just say you can do this. Go up and down, bob and weave. No issues at all. You can just shoot. This is a very easy pattern to kill him. He will eventually die. Or I believe he times out after a while. And that's stage 1. Stage 1 is generally very easy, especially if you get to use the codes, so you don't have to get all the power-ups right away. You don't have to actually power up, you're already powered up. Alright, if you see the Moai head spinning, that means you got the warp correct. Don't hit them though, they will kill you. You got the warp correct, and now we're at stage 3. Alright, the warp in this stage is a little different, but it's a lot easier to do it, remember. The warp in this stage is to kill 10 Moai heads, as you'll see here in a second, which is an extremely easy task when you're all powered up. Alright, here they come. You shoot them in their mouth. They're not, I think they only take 1 or 2 hits if you shoot them in the mouth. If you can mash, like, decent, you don't even need to really mash, but if you can just mash decently, you can kill them right away. Now, the first 4 are really free. They have their mouths open, there's almost no, nothing in the way. But as you get on, you get these guys on the ceiling like this. So in order to kill them, you want to line up and shoot their noses like this. Get on this pixel, and then arch down, and then let your option shoot them. And they clean out really fast. Alright. Now the safe route in this stage would be taking the top route. And what you need to do with this is line yourself up like this straight, all the way until you just bump into the ceiling. And then you just arch your ship forward until the option is in the mouth of the Moai head. And once this is a success, you just hit A, and they will not bother you. That is the safe strat for this stage. Always take the top route. I think I've killed like 8 or 9 Moai heads already, and this is like barely through the stage. So again, touch the ceiling, arch forward, and just hit A. And they can't touch you. You're safe. I don't even have my finger on the D-pad right now. You'll have to dodge this guy. And even then, I'm not moving at all. It's a really safe strat. In the sections here, you do want to move and kill the 2 turrets that'll be shooting at you, but then you just get right back into position, arch forward, hit A. Kill more than enough Moai heads this way. At this point, you can just run through. You've killed like 17 or 18 Moai heads. Now you're gonna try to come. These guys are coming after you. You're gonna kind of want to clip the bottom of them to kill them fast. But I mean, you could also just get in front of them and mash. Get your option inside of them, basically. Just run up, retreat, mash. Run up, retreat, Retreat and shoot. And then you're gonna be fighting one of these things again. And again, all these bosses are exactly the same. There's no variance of the bosses in this game. Of this boss in the game. You just... shoot, and he's dead. And if you've killed 10 Moai heads, again, you're going to see the Moai warp here. You can just avoid the Moai heads. Not much to say about the Moai head warp. Also, if you die past the first stage, I believe you can put in the Konami code, like, one time per stage that you're on. So if you end up dying, like this, you can just hit start, put in the code again, and you're all set. All I would have to do at this point is just re-speed up to my, my preferred speed, which is 2 or 3, and then get laser again. That was just to show you that you can just get powered up again right away, just by putting in the code. This is for this is for Big 20 safe strats, this route. I'll show you any percent of this. No, you don't need full 10 kills. It still counts for how many Moai heads you killed. Alright, this is the worst stage in the game. There's nothing about this stage that you can really help. You have to mash and kill the meatballs. These guys will lag. This is going to be your biggest time save for the marathon. Well, mostly. If you do safe strats, this is definitely going to be your biggest time save. You're going to want to kill these guys as fast as possible. They lag, so it should be pretty easy to nail them. You're going to want to kill the one-armed meatballs before the 2 comes on the screen, or else it'll lag worse. But you really just need to get up and shoot them, and like kind of rock back and forth like that to get your options on top of you. That's a thing, to get your options on top of you when you're shooting. Just kind of wiggle the D-pad. There's nothing else to this entire stage. You're just fighting meatballs. What's up, Stuck in a Plate? Chocolate Bagel, thank you all for coming out here. Doing this wonderful Gradius tutorial. Man, that last one was really slow. And eventually it'll come to a point where it stops, and then you just have to destroy one-armed meatballs. Which is the nice section of the stage. No more lag. You can avoid shooting the no-armed meatballs. They will not add lag. But you have to destroy the one-armed ones before another one-armed one comes on the screen, or else it will lag. Like so. So you don't want that to happen. Oh, no problem. Not a problem. Yeah, this is the 5th. Again, just easy boss. I'll show you how to destroy this boss almost instantly when I do the any percent route. But this is definitely the... You could even, like, I think there's a save point right here. And this will be the last stage in the marathon here. I highly suggest that you're fully powered up for this level. This level is very, very hard if you're not. And a good tactic if your shield is low is to just take one bullet at a time until you have no shield, and then just refuel it. As long as you're highlighting the force field. I wouldn't suggest it unless you're highlighting the force field. Again, no RNG. What you're going to want to do on this stage is destroy the turrets and the walls, because look how many bullets they're firing. You want to get up there and destroy them as fast as possible. So learn where the turret spawns are and get rid of them. You're going to really, really want lasers on this stage. Like, very, very badly. Because it just absolutely tears through the crap. You can die running onto the crap on the screen, so you want to destroy it. the webbing, I guess you would call it. There's a ton of power-ups in this stage, though, so you should be able to keep a force field even if you end up getting shot by a lot of the turrets. Alright, I'm going to show you a safe strat for this boss. Especially if you've died in this stage, this strat is great. All you need to do is go down here, clear a single path, and sit on the left side of the screen. And he cannot hurt you. This is a timed boss no matter what. So staying down here is fine. And now the end of the Big 20 goal is going to be after this guy dies and the music plays. So I don't even think you have to dodge your way out of here. There's a nice safe spot down here. Nothing that needs to be done. You can just sit here and wait for him to time out. And that's where you'd be done with the Big 20 goal as soon as the music comes up. And that's the safe way through the game. Just get fully powered up. If you die, put the code back in. And you get powered up again, and just get speed up to what your speed is, and then carry on that way. There's no RNG in this game. There's 0 RNG, so you just gotta learn the correct paths to take. As I said in Stage 3, the top path is the safest. As long as you do the top pattern, as I showed it earlier. Stage 5 is just to kill the meatballs, and Stage 6 is an avoidance fight at the end. And besides that, there's just, you know, this stage isn't in the marathon, so I'm not going to go over it. So, with that said, let me do true any percent route now. This is much, much more dangerous. As the way the bosses work in this game is they'll become vulnerable faster with the less power-ups you have, and this includes timed fights like the volcano fight. So let me just show you that. What we're going to do here on this route is we don't put in the Konami code, we get 2 speed-ups, which is it. And we get a force field. That's all we get in this mode. This is much, much more dangerous. I wouldn't suggest this for the marathon, but I do want to put it out there that you can do this. Oh yeah, I can do Stage 2 and 4 in case people miss the warps, sure. Not a problem. But let me go through the full 80% route first. So all full 80% is just, well, dodging with with your shield and killing everything this way. Yeah, I could run through those stages. Those stages are honestly really easy. So, no big deal. We'll go over that. We'll do all levels run after this. Alright. As you can see, you gotta kind of play it, kind of the back off-ish. The good thing about not having a lot of power-ups is the enemies don't tend to shoot as many bullets. Yeah, well, I will probably definitely have to do Stage 2, because a lot of people might miss the first warp. But Stage 4, I doubt anybody will see. Again, just like earlier, except with no power-ups, you just sit here and you're perfectly fine. And see how quickly the volcano stage... Okay. Important note here. This is where you get a fast kill on the boss. The boss's hitbox is actually really small. It's only like a pixel or 2. So you're going to want to line your cockpit up with that star that's just above my ship right here. It's a really tight pixel. Yeah, okay, I think we got it. It's the one between my shield and cockpit right here. It's really hard to see. I hope it comes through on stream, but this is the pixel that you need to be on. Then you just get in its face. Suck in the damage and blow it up right away. This is also viable on the safe path as well. But he will take longer to do on the... By the way, this saves about, I would say, 12 seconds, 12 to 15 seconds over doing it the other way without the quick boss kill. The boss comes vulnerable faster, and the volcano goes faster. So you end up saving a good chunk of time doing it this way. Oops, I don't want to do that. Okay, this stage is by far the most dangerous. For this goal. By far. It's gonna be mostly the same in the beginning, just kill the Moai heads. Hello. Thank you. Alright, in order to get these guys, you have to line it up with their noses. Shoot. These are really tight shots. Get these. Oh, I'm dangerously low. I'm losing my shield. On the any percent route, all you can really do is line up with these guys to shoot them. That's fine. You can't really get most of the other guys. Like the turnaround guys, you cannot get anymore. This also requires a lot more dodging. It's a lot scarier. This is what I would definitely suggest not to do in the marathon. If you're gonna do the first stage fast, it's fine, but don't do this stage fast. This stage is way too hard to do fast. Consistently, that is. Alright, I think I might have got enough. I might be one short, though. No, points are not relevant beyond the first stage at all, stuck in a blade. Alright, for these things, again, you want to kind of edge toward the bottom of them. Especially with the pea shooter. Alright, so now I'm a little bit in trouble. So I only have one shield left, so I won't be able to do the fast kill, I don't think. We're gonna try anyways, though. We'll back up a little bit. Yeah, I didn't think so. You can still line up with that pixel on the left side of the screen like I did there, and take him out without a shield. And there's the help. In the true any percent route, like this, at this point, you want to gather all your items again. For the marathon, you want to gain all your weapons for this stage again. So you're just gonna put in the code real quick. And you're gonna be fine. Because with any percent, you're just going to lose time on this level, so it's not worth it. To not have the power-ups, and it's still faster to actually put in the Konami code here than it is to try to gather all your options and your missiles and your force field again. Because you won't have enough power-ups to do it. So there's no reason to do it. And again, it's just the meatballs again. You're gonna want to get to the front of the screen and just match just like before. Just a bunch of meatball mashing. That was really bad. Like, I like to get to the front of the screen and then again wiggle to keep my options on top of me while I'm, you're kind of leading it a little bit. Leading with the meatball, whichever direction it tends to be falling. And wiggle to keep your options lined up with it. Yeah, well, to kill the thing with the any percent route is that it makes the boss's weak spot available faster. If you have more than one power-up, like more than the force field, he doesn't open his core to being damageable for like 200 frames or something like that, so about 3 seconds. So you lose about 3 seconds. if you have more than one power-up, simply because he won't become damageable until that point. When I do the all levels after this, I will demonstrate that you can still do the fast kill with full power-ups like this. Like, you just stay at that pixel, and you can still kill him just like that. It's not hard. I'm going to stop here because there's no variance in this stage. Because, especially for the Big 20, you're not going to go any low percent with just the force field. So there's nothing else to show in this. That just the end of the beginner's tutorial. It's the same thing. You just go through the stage, you kill the turrets, and at the end there's a safe spot. So let's go over if you miss the warp in stage 1. Now there is a warp to stage 2 to 4, which I will demonstrate since 2 and 4 are the stages that you probably won't be seeing. I will also just demonstrate doing it without getting any power-ups. Or without using the Konami code, sorry. So you can save a couple of seconds or so, or a second. Like, a Konami code only takes like a second to put in, so I would highly suggest not doing it. But this does save a second. Alright, I guarantee I won't warp now. If you're bent on not putting in the code to save time, I would suggest getting missiles options and then the shield, because it's just safety. The shield looks like it's only it only protects the front of your ship, but in reality, it protects your entire ship. You can get shot right in the flame coming out of the back, and you'll be fine as long as you have a force field on. Not too much to go over on this level. It's the same thing every time. Same enemies spawn in the same locations and stop in the same spots to shoot at you. So once you know it, it's really easy to get through. And now we didn't destroy one of those turret things. So now we're going to not warp after this stage. But I will demonstrate, in this case, if you find stage 4 easier than stage 3, and you miss the first warp, you can kill the second boss. If the warp from stage 2 to 4 is if you kill the boss in under 2 seconds, I believe. So you're really gonna need this strat, the pixel. Like, if you have a fresh enough force field, you can just soak up damage to kill this guy when he becomes vulnerable like that. Alright. And we're on our way through stage 2. Stage 2 is probably one of the easiest levels in the game next to stage 1. There's a lot of turrets on the stage. I feel slow. See, I'm more comfortable with 3-speed personally. But I would definitely suggest doing 2-speed if you're not used to it. Alright, a strat for this stage is when there's something behind a rock like this, you kind of inch forward and put your options in front of you, like so, and then just wait until you can shoot through it. That way, guys that are stuck behind things, you could just kill them as soon as your options get through there. The highest point of dying in this stage would just be simply running into the stage. This is why I suggest doing only 2-speed, because it gets dangerous. I prefer going the lower route there. It's less scary. Yeah, the more speed you get, the more distance between your options. That's very true. But you can still kill those guys through the wall without doing that. Alright, we're gonna try to do the quick kill on this boss. There's a 1-up right here. Stick your butt in that little crack. And you got yourself a 1-up. Alright, there's gonna be an avoidance fight here. Although you can just kill guys. But it's a timed fight, so you can't do anything but wait for them. And you can shoot them. But it's kind of fun just dodging them. Alright, let's get that pixel ahead of time. Alright, we're gonna soak up the damage here. Dead. Again, it would suggest that only on a fresh force field. But you kill that guy in 2 seconds, and you get the other warp in the game. That is the warp from stage 2 to stage 4. I'm thinking most racers won't have to take this route, but this is just in case. As you saw there, it was just more of a very simple stage. Like, there's just a lot of turrets in that stage. And a lot of rock formations. Like, the thing with stage 2 is you just don't run into a wall and you should be fine. I would suggest doing safe state practice of each stage just to get a feel for spawn locations. Alright, I'm going to do a little different strat here. I think this is going to be a little safer for people in the marathon. I'm actually going to do a change to a double, which lets you hit things in the ceiling a lot easier. I would suggest doing using double if you're having trouble hitting things on the ceiling, or you feel a little too scared to go up and like you don't want to run into the ceiling or anything like that. Because then you can just shoot them all off the ceiling while sticking in the middle and than just worrying about dodging. This level can be a little scary because a lot of enemies, especially if you're full power here, the enemies will shoot a lot of bullets. But as you can see, this is just a flipped upside-down version of the first world. Has great music, though. Only stage in the game with this music. But I think for the Big 20 and just general beginner purposes, I would go with the double in the stage because it's a lot less scary. And you can either choose to keep a force field for the boss, or choose to get lasers, whatever you're more comfortable with. The thing is that once you kill all those guys, they're dead. And the safe spot of the stage works the same as it did in stage 2. Just get directly, well, under the volcano this time instead of above it, and you're good to go. I should have just picked a stage with the double, because you can still kill the boss fast with the double. Same as always when you line up on that pixel. Though, I wouldn't suggest soaking up the damage. You can just dodge them. Yeah, I have low armor here. Yeah, see, it's a little tough getting that pixel sometimes. There we go. And that's going to be the 2 extra stages in case you miss the warp. Yeah. A suggestion would definitely be to skip warping in stage 2 to 4 if you don't think 4 is a level for you. This is all, of course, if you miss the warp in stage 1. If you find 4 a little scary, then I would suggest just skipping that warp and going for the warp in 3. I would suggest that anyways if you're powered up enough to do the warp in stage 3. Because the stage 3 warp is easier, and you don't have to kind of take a risky approach on the boss on stage 2, because you have to kill him in less than 2 seconds, so you kind of have to manipulate him a little bit, or just get really lucky and mash him down doing the other technique. Alrighty then. Yeah, it's just gonna be the meatballs again, but that's Gradius. Gonna be the meatballs again. I'll run through the end of the game on this route just to again show stage 6. Stage 6 probably being one of the scarier stages in this route. This stage isn't really scary, it's just time-consuming, because you gotta mash down the meatballs. You don't even have to mash that heavily. You can just... Well, the thing with these guys is that, like, when the screen slows down like this, your inputs tend to get eaten a lot in this when it comes to shooting. Like, when it comes to moving, it's fine, but sometimes lasers just won't shoot. I don't really know why. Also, you can destroy their arms. Oh, got out of the way. You can destroy the arms of these guys. You have to hit that little ball on the side. If you find that easier than destroying the meatball, I'd say go for it, but I actually find it harder to destroy the arms in these games over destroying just the meatball in the center. Oh shit. I died. In this case, I would just put in the Konami code again. See, I had a backup shield there, but I didn't use it. I forgot. But this is actually good, because I can showcase not having the laser here. Which isn't actually that bad of a thing. Like, the laser doesn't really add much of an advantage on this boss, or on these meatballs. As long as you have the options. The options are way more important for the meatballs than it's than the laser, in this case. You don't want double on this part, though. Double will be really slow, because you have to wait for the top shot to leave the screen. So, I would avoid double in most cases if you can. The only time I would use it in this route would be stage 4 if you miss the warp in 2 and 3, or if you miss the warp in 1 and then you warp 2 to 4, or if you miss the warp in 3 and you have to do 4, I would suggest just skipping double for the entire route. Laser is a definite in stage 6, though. Here, really quick. It's definitely this one. I say that, I will go into the stage and show you why laser is so important in this stage. Because when you shoot the laser, it just tears right through all of the webbing, but if you just shoot the little pea shooter like this at it, it'll only notch off one at a time, so you better get your mash on really good. Because if you die in this stage, you're going to have to do this, which, again, put in the Konami code right away. And this is with 3 options. And the webbing, like... And these guys also take, I think, 3 hits. It's much more dangerous, as you can already tell, like... Oh, I got a double instead of the laser! Whoops! We're in a peculiar case here. It's a bit scary. We should be okay, maybe. My force field is running out. In this case, I would just hit start and put in the Konami code again, which you see gave me a fresh shield. Now it slowed me down, but it gave me a fresh shield. So now I don't have anything to worry about again. And again, if you want to take the safe route here, just sit down here. You have nothing to worry about until it's over with here. But yeah, if your shield's getting worn out late in the game, definitely just put in the code again. I know you can only use the code a specific amount of times, but it shouldn't come up too many times that you need to use it. Just avoid the walls, and you should be good for the most part. And that's Gradius. Are there any questions? Chat, feel free to shoot them my way real quick. And if not, we'll move on to Waldo here in a second. I mean, if anybody's curious in learning the last stage, you can just watch any of the runs. The last stage is simply get double. But if there's no questions, I can beat the brain real quick. My favorite sand twitch. I am a very, very big fan of the burger. Cheeseburger specifically. But yeah, in this stage. In world record attempts, you're not allowed to use the Konami code. Just a heads up. Or any RTA attempts. So, what you want to do in this stage, specifically, is keep the shield highlighted in your power-up box. That way you can, in case things get a little sketchy, you can switch over to get another shield. Oh no, I'm at one shield. There we go. It's always, if your shield is orange, you should definitely opt to take a bullet and switch to the shield. Better get to the front of the screen, or else it's gonna close. How do you speed rush? Very carefully. Here's the last boss in the game. You see, he's very difficult. You can even go to the little electrical parts. That's Gradius. One loop of Gradius. Extremely fun game, awesome speedrun. The one loop world record right now is 11:32. I'm sure it can go below 11:30. The all stages world record is 15:54. And that, I'm sure that can go lower too. So if you want to challenge the speedrun of this game, by all means. I'd love to see more people speedrun shmups. As I showed you here, it is very, very much possible to speedrun this game, and it makes it a way harder run than you would just do normally. You can only get a force field through almost the entire game. You have to do the quick kills on the boss, which means you have to soak up the lasers they shoot straight at you. And this, in the end, saves over like 30 seconds if you want to try it in the marathon. That's a pretty good chunk of time. But it's 100% harder. It's so much harder to do than just putting in the code or just getting your options up normally and going through the game. But that is my final thoughts on the Gradius. So thank you for joining me for the Gradius tutorial.